Without further ado, thank you so much again for being here. One last thing before we head in, and I'm going to hand it over to Sharon, is next month, same place, March 4th, we have another Lunch and Learn event with Amy Rudy with Impact Sales Systems. And the topic is gaining ground and winning more business. So next month, March 4th, please join us, same time, same place. All right. Sharon, are you ready to introduce our rock stars today? We got to get Sharon off mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining the webinar today. We're so excited of having our guests. We want to please welcome our speakers. Sheila Mixon, she is the Senior Vice President of the Business Development and Entrepreneurship for the Department for Urban League and of Greater Southwestern Ohio. And she's over WeBank as well for Ohio region. And again, we want to also welcome Kathy Stanford. She's the president and founder of Adventure Promotions and a former president of the NABO Lexington. We're going to be talking about certification. Let's start talking about certification. We want to welcome Sheila Mixon. We're going to start with her. She's going to talk about their services and what they provide at WeBank for our region. Thank you, Sheila, for being here.
Thank you, Sharon, and thank you, NABO Kentucky, and Sharon specifically because she reached out to me to come and talk about what's another way to grow your business. And so I currently serve as the executive director for Women's Business Enterprise Council, Ohio River Valley. And we spanned a 3-state territory, Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. And we are the certifying entity on behalf of WeBank, which stands for, and we have all the acronyms, so I like to make sure that I spell out what everything means. And it's Women's Business Enterprise National Council. And so there are 14 of us across the country that certify women-owned businesses that are 51% owned, operated, and controlled by a woman. And it gives you access to procurement opportunities from corporations around the country, governmental agencies around the country, as well as those B2B opportunities amongst yourself. Because you don't have to be, the reason to become certified doesn't necessarily have to be able to engage with a corporate member. It very well could be becoming, doing business with individuals such as yourselves, because your services or products, someone on this call here could very well use your services or products, and you can grow your business in that way. With us, the process for getting certified is probably about a 90-day process that includes the application itself, where you would go out to WeBank link to fill that out. But what it does is the paperwork is really contingent upon how you're structured in your business. If you're a corporation or an LLC or solopreneur, the paperwork is indicative of how you are, what your business structure is. And what we typically tell someone that's interested in becoming certified is to take a look at the checklist first, gather all your documents, and then when you go in, sit down to upload that information into WeBank Link. That's their data management system. It will only take you about 35 minutes. The most amount of time that's going to take you is gathering the information, right? And once you've got it, then it's just a matter of uploading it into the system. The certification the cost of it is tiered, funding anywhere from $350 up to $1,250, depending upon your revenue. So it's revenue driven. So anything under $1 million is 350. $1 million to 5 million is 500. 500 to 10 million is 750. And then anything over $10 million is $1,250. I mean, yeah, 1,250. And we currently within our region, we have over 1,100 certified WBEs that's within our territories. And we currently have 52 corporate members that's part of our portfolio, and that continues to grow every year. Once you've uploaded your information into the system, the next thing that happens is you go through one phase, and the next phase is for our certification committee to review your file, make a recommendation. You get a site visit, and one of the beauties of the virtual environment now is that WeBank allows us to do virtual site visits now. So, because typically we would have come out to your place of business to conduct that site visit. We're now able to do it virtually and be able to see really and truly where you are in your business. And that's our opportunity that's our first real person-to-person touch with you, to kind of share some of the everything that we have going on. And then once you get through the site visit, then it comes to me to sign off on. So I'm the last person that will touch the file to either approve it or deny it based on the recommendations of the committee. Now, just because the committee, there have been instances where I've overturned a committee decision because I've seen something in the file review that they might have missed. And then I use that as a teaching moment to that committee member in terms of how do you look at the paperwork and, what goes into the decisioning. As part of that certification is only one part of what we do. The types of services that we provide that help you really and truly grow your business includes our signature program is our business development program. That is, we call it our core program, which is only for certified WBEs. It's a 7-month program. And right now, Fifth Third is our corporate sponsor in the Cincinnati market. In Columbus, our partner is L Brands. And then we have what we call our supply chain program, where the corporate wants to grow the businesses that are already in their supply chain, or they want to they're looking at someone to bring into the supply chain. And so it's the exact same program as my core program, but the supply chain is a mixture of MWBEs, WBEs, LGBTQ, small businesses. So it's across the gamut. We allow the corporate to brand it in their name, and my partners on that is Marathon Petroleum Company, and then in Northeast Ohio, I have 3 of my corporate members that are engaged in that, and that would be Cleveland Clinic, Rockwell Automation, and Eaton Corporation. Same program, just same material, just differently structured. And what I have teased my corporates in the Cleveland market is that Marathon, typically, I end up getting a WBE that's from within our territory, right? And this time around, I didn't get one WBE to sign up for the Marathon program. All of them have come from outside of our region. I have folks from Arizona, a couple of them from Texas, someone from Louisiana, Indiana, Illinois, New York, Pittsburgh. And again, it's a way for us to help you think differently about how you grow your business. Because if you're looking to grow and you're stagnant, you need to look at where you are and what are you doing that's not propelling you, getting you over that hump. And this program helps you, allows you to do that. We have monthly meetings, one of which I see Maria Mackey is on the call. She is our forum chair, in the Louisville market. Nancy Weiser, that's right there in Lexington, is our forum chair there, along with Lindsay Krause. And we're looking for a co-chair for Maria and we think it's gonna be Marissa Neal. And so, and those are done every month, but it's spread out quarterly depending upon the city. And again, the beauty of the online engagement is it doesn't matter where you're sitting. You can attend any of those forum lunches. Right now they're an hour, and it might be WBE led, or it could be one of my corporate members that that wants to have something that they want to present. Then our biggest event is our regional conference that we do every year called Catch the Wave. And we have an attendance of over 500 that attend that conference on the regional level. And I'm pleased to say, and I typically rotate it around my major cities. And I'm pleased to say that in 2022, we are going to host our conference in the Lexington market. I've made that decision. As I see Kathy is smiling. So Kathy, no, we're not going back to Louisville this time. We're going to do it in Lexington. So we'll start the planning for that as we get closer to our own conference that we're having in September. Those are just some of the things that we do to add value to the participation. We have some industry specific events that we do. We did the healthcare industry in 2019. Last year we did the utility industry. And then this coming year, we're going to focus on manufacturing. So those WBEs that are in the manufacturing space will be able to interact with our corporations that are in the manufacturing space. So a lot going on with us. And I asked Kathy to co-lead with me today and she'll talk a little bit about her business and how she got involved with WeBank and how she's benefited from it. And then we'll open it up for questions. Anything that you want to ask is on the table. And Kathy will tell you, I'm totally transparent. What you see is what you get. And I figure you can't make good decisions on your business unless people are being totally honest with you.
Thank you, Sheila. Is Kathy around?
I'm right here. Hello.
We want to welcome Kathy. Kathy, again, thank you so much. And Sheila, thank you for that as well. We're asking Kathy to talk about what Sheila mentioned, all about the certification and what it does and what it has done for your business. I'm going to give you the floor, Kathy, and then we're going to turn it over to Q&A. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. And thank you all for having me today. Thank you, Sheila. You lead so well. You're a hard act to follow, but I always enjoy hearing you and learning, being reminded of all that happens within WeBank and when you are certified. My company is Adventure Promotions. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky, and we provide promotional items, apparel, PPE, anything you can imagine with your name on it. And I'd like to tell you just a little bit about my journey and what certification has done for me in every area. So I first became familiar with WeBank when I called on a specific vendor, and it was a utility vendor. And by the way, that utility forum was wonderful. And I want to encourage you all, if you are able to attend any of these, they are so fruitful in so many ways. But when I went to call on a vendor in the utility space, they said, we would like to work with you, would like to put you in our supplier diversity program, but you need to get certified. And I had never heard about getting certified. I thought, here I am, I'm a woman, I had never heard about it. But one of the things that this person said to me was, I want to suggest to you WeBank because it is because I said, well, where do I do that? How do I do that? What does that mean? And they said, it's the most widely accepted, credible certification in the world. And if you're going to do it, you might as well do it where it's going to count and matter, because you can get certified with other agencies, but there will be entities that won't accept it. And it's a most widely accepted one that I'm aware of. In fact, for those that do or don't know, there's also another certification, and Sheila can talk about it more. That's a WOSB, which I have that as well, Woman-Owned Small Businesses, and that's the one that the United States federal government uses. And the United States federal government, that is the largest purchaser of goods and services in the world, chose WeBank to do this particular certification that they accept in their space. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I just dug in. It was just me and one other person working in my laundry room, and $1,000 that I had invested. So I didn't have a lot of resources as far as staff to be able to apply. But I want to tell you, I want to encourage you, don't be intimidated by it. I think Sheila laid it out very clearly. Just get your documents together. Go ahead, invest that time. It's going to be some of the best time that you can invest in your business. And I will tell you that it has opened certification. I've been certified. I'm not quite sure. I'm thinking about 17 years, since is one of the first things I did when I started my company. But certification has just given me credibility with my potential customers and current customers. I have that. I used it when I got certified. I was pretty excited. That was a pretty big deal. So I did, and I would suggest it for anyone to do this. I did a press release, and I use it, and I got a lot of great feedback on it too. I'm on social media a lot and sent out emails to current customers, and it's in my signature. It's on my business card. It's on everything. It's totally a part of the fabric of who we are. And not only did it give me the credibility, but it also, and Sheila covered this, it gave me the opportunity to engage and learn about events that connected me to other women business owners, providing me a wealth of information about just their experiences that I could draw on. So there has been a financial component to it that has been amazing, but there's also been another component that's just been through the relationships, through what I've learned, because I don't know it all. None of us do. And it's helped me know that, I'm not alone. And it's in particular right now in this time that I've heard the theme that I hear often is just how isolating this season in our lives are. Our company has been fortunate enough to come to work in the office every day. We have never shut down through COVID because we were considered essential in our state. We provide some things to the National Guard and to emergency management services. So we have been funneling and supplying from the moment the shutdowns hit. So I just, anyway, I'll say, we're thankful for that. I'm jumping around a little bit because I usually don't work from notes, but there are points because certification and working through WeBank has been so valuable to me on so many different areas that I really wanted to be able to hit the points. I have made great friends. I mean, we talk about being, I've made wonderful friends through it. And I don't think anyone can truly understand the load that we carry as business owners like other business owners. I mean, who can understand what we're carrying to keep our sales up, to meet payrolls, especially, and then because we're in house, meeting all of the requirements to make sure and this is my number one goal, is that our staff remains healthy, that we want them healthy and protected. Our building's on lockdown. We don't let people in. I've gotten lots of tips just from meetings and listening to other corporates about what they're doing in some of the larger corporations. So for me, through WeBank, I have been given many resources. I have been given support, credibility, and opportunity. And the opportunities I have found are endless. In fact, there are times that my staff will say to me, please don't call anybody else today, because it's just too much to handle for them. So I just kind of pace. I never try to take on more than our company can handle. Never. I just want to give a nod to WeBank and what a great job that WeBank does, and how the process has become more. I've watched it when I was first certified. Our regional office was in Columbus, so I had to wait for someone to come from Columbus to do my site visit to complete everything. And Sheila, since she has been in there, has been just rocking it. And that is one of the things. I do sit on the steering committee, and I also am on the certification review committee. And one of the things that I do is that I do site visits. Now they're not in person, they're virtual. I try to make it 30 minutes or less. I let you know what you need prior to the visit, and it's really easy. And in fact, it's really fun to get to know other business owners and to see what other people are doing. So I want to leave some time for questions. I don't know what time it is, but that's a little bit about what certification has done for me.
And so I wanted to piggyback off of something that Kathy said, because it was remiss in me not sharing that we are the certifying in one of, we're the main, but one of, I want to say 4 other entities that do the women-owned small business certification on behalf of the SBA. And I want you all to think about this. As Kathy has said, think about the government budget. And of that budget, and we're talking billions, trillions of dollars, they set aside 5% of their budget for women-owned businesses. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of money that sometimes potentially can be left on the table because we don't get women to get WeBank certified. Now, yes, you can go out to SBA and you can do the self-certification, but the most you'll get is $50,000 and below. Anything over that, you have to go through a certifying entity, which WeBank is, and we do that certification on behalf of the federal government. Now, one of the things that Kathy shared, WeBank has 2 major events every year. They have what's called Summit and Salute that's usually done in March. And so, of course, that's not going to happen this year because of the lockdown and the fact that the corporates can't travel as of yet. And you can't do a major conference without having your corporations there. That's the whole purpose, right? But Summit and Salute, I say, that's their mini conference. They get, I want to say 1,800 people that come to that around the world, around the country. And that's where we celebrate the corporations. They celebrate those corporations, call them top corps who are actually spending money with and providing procurement opportunities to WBEs. We celebrate what we call our WeBank Star, where each regional partnering organization gets to select a woman from their region to represent the organization on a national level. And I make that recommendation, and I usually do it based on where my conference is supposed to be. I'll recognize that woman from that city. So in this instance, we would have been in Cleveland, and Gabrielle Chrisman is our star. And because we didn't have Summit and Salute last year, WeBank decided that they're going to recognize them for 2 full years until they can actually be recognized on stage. Then you have the national conference, which is always in June, and you'll get upwards to 5,000 people that will attend that conference. And again, it's all about networking. When you become certified, you become an automatic member of the WeBank advocacy group called the Forum. And then I get the chance to nominate every 2 years up to 4 women to represent us on the national level. And once you're recommended and approved by WeBank to be part of the national forum, that's the leadership piece, that gives you even that much more exposure. And WeBank uses that group to be the pulse of what's happening in the WeBank community network total across the country. So WeBank currently has about 1,700 certified WBEs around the country. And I have seen it happen where I've seen one WBE have a conversation and say, can you make an introduction of this corporate member? And I have literally seen that person walk them across the trade show floor and make that introduction as needed. And those kind of things happen on a daily basis, even from within my region. And I'm a big proponent of the B2B because we have larger WBEs that have grown their businesses, not through getting contracts with corporate members or government. They've grown their business and grown $1 billion company by doing business with each other WBEs. The opportunities are there. That's your low-hanging fruit. So within my region, you got 1,100 folks that could potentially use your product or service. And it's about, and I want to make sure that I stress, the certification is not the holy grail. Just because you get certified doesn't mean that the sea is going to part and the corporate's going to just constantly give you the business. It doesn't work that way. Certification is just one of the other tools in your growth strategy. And you get out of anything what you're willing to put in. And I'll say that the biggest my pet peeve is for a business come to me and say, I've been certified for X amount of years and I haven't gotten one contract. My first response is, well, have you attended any of the events? What have you done? It's a tool. You have to be present in order, and because people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And you don't get there until you engage and network with those things, and knowing full well that sometimes it could take years before you get your first contract with the corporate, because it takes that long because you have an incumbent there and then you're on their radar, but they need to get to know you. They need to get to know me, because I get calls all the time where a corporate say, do you have a WBE that can do X, Y, and Z? I go through my database, see who's there, or my team will pull the list and say, Sheila, who do we want to recommend? When I look at that, I know it might be biased, but I'm going to go with the folks that I have seen. I know what they do. I know their capability. I know they can do the job. They have the resources in which to do that, because see, my reputation is on the line. If I make an introduction and then you can't perform or you do a poor job on that. And it's the same thing. The corporate supply diversity professionals are your advocates inside of their companies. And so when they're making a recommendation, their reputation is on the line as well. So we work hand in hand and making sure we're identifying the right company that might have that opportunity. And one of the things, that Kathy is very well aware of, we're doing corporate presentations on a quarterly basis. And we did our first one last month. and I call it a presentation as opposed to a pitch, because this came from one of our corporate members that presented to the Lexington chapter in November, I think it was. And he says, stop pitching, you need to be presenting to me, because I can't, your pitch is only, it might be 5 minutes. Yes, I might hear it, but if you're gonna present to me, I want you to present in a way that's gonna make me stand up and look and go on. So we have started 15-minute presentations with 5-minute Q&A. And we had 5 WBEs that got to pitch present to the corporate members, and they're presenting, and these were based on the needs of the corporations that came to me. So I'm gonna stop talking and open it up for questions. So Sharon, you can handle the Q&A. And between Kathy and I think we can probably address all the questions that you have. I would like, please ask us about our Women of Color initiative that we're launching this year, this month actually, and then our innovation initiative. So I'm turning it back over to you, Sharon.
I want to thank Sheila and Kathy for that wealth of information. And right now, I'm going to turn it over to Amanda. She's got the chat and she's looking through all the questions. And please send your questions in the chat, because again, we've got these experts here. Our goal is to make sure that you walk away from this webinar with nuggets of information. And we've got these experts here, so utilize while they're here today. Okay, Amanda, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. So the first question, someone said, please share with us the Women of Color initiative. So how about we start there?
Okay. This was something that came out of, now WeBank has a big push on bringing in more women of color into the WeBank network, because I'll be totally transparent with you. The corporations, what we say to particularly our women of color is, and particularly African-American business owners, is you never know which box the corporate member needs to get to assign to a procurement opportunity. And I'll give you for instance, I had a WBE women, African-American business here in Cincinnati that I had been trying to get certified for 5 years. She had a big contract. She was the incumbent and she was minority, and she was National Minority Supplier Development Council certified, but not WeBank certified. She had a contract with the school system in Nashville. And with her being the incumbent, she did excellent work. And so they was ready to ink the deal. And then the vendor said, okay, the corp said, I just need your WeBank certification. I need your certificate. She says, well, I'm not WeBank certified, but I am a woman. She says, I see that. She says, I have my minority certification. And the woman and the corporate said, I don't need minority right now. I need women-owned, WeBank certified. That's what needs it. And the significance of this was that it was a $10 million contract that she lost because she wasn't WeBank certified, even though she was the incumbent, because this is what they were looking for. So our Women of Color initiative on the regional level is to identify more women that are ethnic, and we're talking Hispanic, African-American, Asian, all across the spectrum on the ethnicity. Our focus this month is on African-American women. And what we're doing this month to start, is we're having an open dialogue with the African-American women that are already certified in our RPO, because we want to hear what are the challenges that you're experiencing from a personal as well as business concern. what are the challenges that they're having with the procurement process, getting into the supply chain. And I'm hand selecting some of my corporate members to listen to those challenges from those WBEs. And so that because you can't make change if you don't hear what the challenges and issues are. And so we'll have probably about 15 our corporate members that will be part of that conversation. And our very own Alice Houston, I don't know how many of you know her, from HJI, is going to be the facilitator of that discussion. And like I say, for right now, it's only for our certified, and then we've developed the strategy around how do we go out and recruit more African-American women to become certified and participate in the programs that are there. And then we'll do a broader net to the other ethnic groups to bring them on board, because the opportunities are endless for women of color within the WBENC network. I know within my RPO, it's about, I want to say it's about 7% of my portfolio that are women of color. And there's such an opportunity for growth. And what I say to particularly those that can get certified on the minority side of the house, you get both. You get both certifications, because you don't know which door you need to go through that the corporations are looking for. And then the thing is, yes, there is a fee for both of us, but if you get one contract or you do one piece of business with another WBE, it's paid for your certification.
Great. It's some very valuable information there for anybody who that applies to. We had a couple of people ask, how long do you have to be in business before you can become certified?
One day.
Great. Someone said, if the business is illegal but hasn't actually started due to COVID, can they still file?
No, you have to have you need to have started the business, and that means you've registered with your state to become a business. So you have the certificate that shows that you are a viable organization, because if you look at the requirements, the paperwork that's required, that is one of the things that we require. Also, depending upon if you're a corporation or a LLC, then we're looking for your bylaws or your operating agreement.
Great. Someone asked, do you focus on global or national corporate enterprises that are not in your region? If not, do you partner with other regional, national, or global certification organizations to grow the potential markets?
Absolutely. The thing about the WBENC certification is that it is a national certification. We have a lot of corporations that do business globally, and they're looking for those suppliers who have the capacity and the ability and resources to do business globally. And we have quite a few within our network and within our region that are doing business globally.
Great.
And remember, global means you could do business in Canada or Mexico. That's global. That's just in North America. We consider that global. So even if it's just across the border, if you're able to do business with a company in Canada, you're doing business globally. And you can tout that on your capability statement.
Great, that's very true. Somebody said, my business does not sell directly into the big companies, but a friend told me I could still benefit from this certification because of tier 2 spending. Could you explain what that is?
Yes. Tier 2 means, so the corporate will have a prime supplier that they're doing business with. And because the corporations are the vast majority of them are very serious about their supply diversity and creating opportunities, then they also give a spend goal to their tier 1 or prime supplier, which means that that tier 1 or prime needs to go find a diverse supplier to help them meet their supply diversity goal that rolls up to the corporate, right? And so you can grow your business in a tier 2, tier 3, sometimes tier 4 position. It doesn't matter the position, because the color that's important is green, right? It's green. And so all it does is that you are a tier 2 in an indirect way to a Toyota, for instance, because you're not doing business directly with Toyota. That's a tier 1 or prime. In an indirect, you're considered tier 2, tier 3, tier 4.
Great. Someone asked, is there a targeted date for the Women of Color Dialogue?
For those that are certified, it's the 25th of February. It's going to be from 5 to 6. And again, for that dialogue right now, it's only for the certified African-American businesses. And then next month, then we will begin the outreach of other Black women and providing some mentorship from those that are already certified to help navigate and be a mentor to them through this process and answer questions and that sort of thing.
Great. Does your household income or personal income affect the qualification?
Nope.
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 Does having a residential address for business lessons success with site visits?
No, it doesn't. We have a lot of companies that are home-based. All we need to see when we do the site visit is that we want to see that you have some dedicated space in your home to conduct your business, and all they're doing is holding up either the laptop or whatever that's giving us a panoramic view of their space. No, it does not prevent you from being certified because you're home-based. Because what you'll find out is sometimes you start as a home-based company and then you move up and you graduate to getting shared space or whatever the case may be, or you might decide that you'll never be brick and mortar. And I think what COVID has taught us is that you can still conduct business from a home-based solution, right? Kathy's been fortunate that she was considered essential, so her doors never closed. Excuse me, very many of our WBEs have worked from home, but they found a better way of connecting with the corporations, right? Through the Zoom calls, WebEx, you name it. As long as it's online, they're able to have a little bit more engagement with you because of COVID. If there is a positive effect, it's that a lot of the suppliers have had a lot of opportunities to have more online engagement with the corporations.
I would definitely agree with that. That's been the one very good thing to come out of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked, can franchises become certified? In other words, if you are a franchisee, can you become certified? And is this process any different from non-franchise businesses?
What has to happen with a franchise is it depends upon who the franchise is, who the parent franchise organization is. We have to see the franchise agreement because it speaks to, do you have control over that business or is it really the franchise that's running things? So we send the franchise agreement up to WeBank. So if there's an interest, what we say is send us the agreement, let us send it to WeBank so that they can review the franchise agreement, and they will come back and say, yes, you can move forward, or no, we can't accept this this company.
Great.
So we don't make that decision on the local level. All the franchise communication initially is handled by WeBank, and then they let us know that we can move forward with the certification process. Same documentation is required along with that franchise agreement.
Great. Is there any max annual revenue qualify?
Nope. My largest WBE in my territory is $500 million.
Great. Can you be a consultant or be in project management business and be certified?
As long as you have a tax ID number, you're conducting a business, whatever you're calling your consulting company, yes, you can be certified. And we use, and just so you know, I don't just talk about the certification, getting you certified. I only use, and Kathy knows this from our conversations from her being on my board, I only use certified WBEs. I purchase, do all my marketing material, anything that I need to buy, I buy it from a certified vendor.
That's great. That's it for our chat questions for now, but I actually had a question. You had mentioned that there are these corporate presentations. Let's say that I get certified and I don't get picked as one of those 5 people to do the presentation. What would you say is the next best advice for reaching out or becoming a partner or a vendor?
Well, in addition to those presentations that we're doing, and again, it will be driven by whatever the opportunities are that they're giving to us, right? We will be doing some matchmaking events this year as well that will give you some opportunities as well to be able to connect with one of the corporate members. I can make, Kathy can, as well as myself. I saw Barry was on the line a few minutes ago. Maria, there are some that have relationships with corporations. And if you are attending any of our online events, it's very easy to put in the chat, I'm trying to make a connection to Humana. And then I have a personal relationship with Holly because Holly happens to be on my board, but I knew her from when she was with Centos. And I can make that email, that electronic introduction of you. What we try to do and what the corporates and what I have insisted on from my corporations is I need you to be totally transparent with them because I don't want them to keep trying to make contact with you and you don't have a true opportunity. You need to tell them that up front so that they can move on, right? And then if you get an opportunity to present or the RFPs that are coming out and you don't get selected, then as one of those that submitted it that didn't get selected, ask for a meeting to tell them why. So you know how to be prepared the next time. Or I can make that call and say, can you tell me why this WBE didn't get selected so that we can come back and talk about, and I'll give you, for instance, on the presentations last month, one of the staffing firms that was making a presentation, one of the questions that came to them was, what was their strategy on a diverse workforce? And she didn't really answer the question. And what I would tell all of you on this call, if you don't know, say so. Because after that call, when we were doing the debrief, all of them started talking about, well, she didn't really answer the question. Why would I go? So what I did afterwards, she presented extremely well. She's going to get a call from Nationwide because she had what they were looking for, but it wasn't Nationwide that asked the question about the diverse workforce, right? I said to her, what you should have done was told them you don't have a plan, but you're working on it. Because the worst thing you can do is him and ha around because they can pick that up immediately. If you don't know, just be honest and say, I don't know.
Great.
And I wanted to make sure that I mentioned this as well. And Kathy has heard me talk about it with my steering committee, and most of my corporate members know this. I am very selective in the corporate members that I bring on board. And I only want those that are serious about creating opportunities for the WBEs, that are providing support for my organization. And I don't want someone that's just talking the talk, but not walking the walk. And I literally have turned someone down, that someone stopped me at Summit and Salute 2 years ago and said, Sheila, I hear all these great things that you're doing, you know, in your RPO. And I want to know, how do I become engaged and be a corporate member for you? And I looked at him, he's a national member, National WeBank member. And I said to him, I said, well, do you want me to tell you the truth, or do you want me to tell you what you want to hear? And he says, well, no, tell me the truth. I said, okay. I said, very much like the supplier diversity professionals talks among themselves about the suppliers that they're doing business with, the good, the bad, the ugly. We at the councils talk to each other as well about what corporations are doing and who's doing what and who's not. I said, your website says one thing, but your actions are something totally different. And I don't really think you would be a fit for my organization. And he says, well, again, explain to me why. And I said, okay, plain talk. You say you create opportunities, they're out there, but you do not do business with diverse suppliers and women-owned business specifically. So that's not a fit for me. I need people that are going to be engaged. And he was so angry. He says, well, you have to take me because I'm a WeBank national member. And I said, no, I don't. I'm running a business and I can choose who I want to do business with. And if you change how you do business, then come back and see me next year. And then I immediately went, and what he said to me was, well, we'll see. I said, okay, you can't make me take you, right? And so I went to my board at our next meeting. This was in March. We had our meeting in April, and I shared this scenario with them. And when I tell you, you could hear a pin drop on the carpet, you could have heard the pin drop amongst those corporate members that were sitting there. And my board is made up of WBEs and corporate members. And then finally, one of them, Andy Butler from Proctor, says, first, Sheila, do you understand how brave that was for you to tell one of us no? Because no one tells us no. They always do what we ask, but I'm not surprised that you did it. And absolutely, I will support your decision. And then all the others start chiming in saying, yes, yes, yes. And so they use that when they're going out and making a recommendation and a referral for me to bring someone on. They're doing it because they know what I look for in a corporate member, and they're only bringing me those that are serious about supplier diversity and creating opportunities. So it's really and truly how you want to run your company and choosing who you want to do business with. And it's no different for me, because if I'm not bringing the right corporations to the table, that's not helping you.
Great, thank you. I'm
So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead, Amanda.
I think we're just right on time.
Yeah, and thank you, Kathy and Sheila, for being part of today's event. Fantastic information, and listening to it, it's going to encourage me, I know, to go out and finally get my WeBank certification. And I've seen firsthand the impact it can have from. I had a client who was WeBank certified, was able to go to one of the conferences with her, and the doors that it opens is absolutely amazing. It was kind of mind-blowing from someone who's been in corporate for many, many years, of the access that you're able to grant. So, and thank you guys so much for sharing that. So once again, thank you guys for joining us today. As Laura mentioned, we've got our next Lunch and Learn is a month from today on March 4th. And stay tuned. We actually have a follow-up event to last month's workshop where we talked about women and wealth. The date's being finalized, but towards the end of March, look for Women, Wealth, Whiskey, and Wine. It's going to be kind of an open forum to talk about money and to talk about how to build wealth, and everyone's welcome to join us. So thank you guys and have a great day.
Thank you, everyone, for having me. I appreciate the conversation.
I just want to say too as well, and Sheila and Kathy, oh, go ahead. Sheila and Kathy, thank you so very much. That was a wealth of information. On behalf of NAWBO, we really and truly appreciate all that you do and all you're doing to help our small businesses grow. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.